Hi guys and gals, Pigmoon here with another video. Today we'll cover a relatively hot topic in the Indian Armed Forces and her neighbours. Why are the Indians always so angry or unhappy with neighbouring countries' fighter aircraft or armed forces development? In particular, I've seen on quite a lot of channels, the JF-15 or the aircraft that was the fighter that's exported by China is particularly bashed over and over again by the Indians. And in the opposite sense, they never mentioned that the Chinese also fly a similar Su-30 model at all. So in this video, we will take a purely numbers comparison to find out which fighter is actually superior. We will not allow nationalistic views or chest thumping or even racist views to deter us from finding out into consideration actually. The Chengdu JF-17 or Thunder fighter is a single-engine multi-role export fighter that is made by the PRC, primarily being used by the Pakistani Air Force at the moment. The local designation in China is the FC-1 Xiaolong fighter, and I don't think the PLA actually operates it. Engine is incorporated from the MiG-29 and gives the fighter a 1.09 thrust-to-weight ratio. And above 1.0 is actually quite remarkable for current light fighters, or supposedly light class fighters. In comparison, the HAL Tejas has a GEF404 engine and can only muster a thrust-to-weight ratio of 0.98 and is heavier by 1,000 pounds as compared to JF-17. This has hobbled the Tejas and made the Indian Navy cancel her orders entirely in view of future developments of other Generation 5 fighters. We can see that there's a difference or delta of 0.11 thrust-to-weight ratio difference between the JF-17 and the Tejas. But it might not seem actually very big on paper, this 0.11, but in actual air-to-air combat, it makes the JF-17 a much more agile fighter. The Tejas would suffer greatly during within visual range combat due to the delta wing configuration, and she will lose large amounts of energy during high G turns. And given that you cannot turn faster and the JF-17 can, the outcome is obvious for within visual range. The failure to attract the order from the Indian Navy is again heavily disputed by YouTubers or Indian YouTubers who refuse to see that the Indian Navy has actually made her decision very clear on the Tejas' apparent weight handicap when it comes to engine systems and overall airframe weight. Meanwhile, the JF-17 Block 1 and 2 are flying with a capable engine and an X-band radar that is able to apparently track 40 targets and fire upon 2 simultaneously. This is for beyond visual range. Similarly, the Tejas has a X-band radar, but the radar range of the JF-17 exceeds the Tejas by 30 kilometers. This is again can be counter-argued, saying that they just have a small RCS, but this 30 kilometers is a life and death number when engaged in a beyond visual range combat. And in this aspect, the JF-17 has a decisive advantage from the Indian counterpart. Weapons integration is another big difference amongst the two fighters, where the JF-17 has already been integrated for most of our arsenal, from air-to-air IR and air-to-air radar-guided missiles PL-5 and PL-12 together with the AIM-9L. Air-to-ground weaponry such as Mark 82 GBU-12 has also been integrated. While at this moment, the Indian Tejas is still conducting weapons trial to integrate Python 5 and Derby IR radar-guided missiles respectively from Israel as part of the FOC requirements. And this FOC has already dragged on for 5 years, and it was supposed to end be FOC end of 2016, but it has been further delayed due to numerous missed KPIs. This is another core or major disadvantage of the Tejas. It's been 33 years and FOC since conception of the fighter, and FOC is still unconfirmed due further notice. So again, gives the JF-17 another advantage in weaponry and operational availability. Basically, one of the aircraft is already inducted, while the other aircraft has only 3 operational examples with heavy airframe weak engine. I would say that okay, the engine is weak in this case, as well as a below the average radar. So viewers or YouTubers, which one of these two aircraft is actually the champion in this head-to-head comparison? It's pretty obvious, isn't it? I guess if you want to bring in nationalistic views or racist comments against each other, you will always think that your country's aircraft is better. But numbers wise, facts wise, JF-17 is definitely decisively more advantageous and definitely stronger in many aspects. With that, I leave you all to come to your own conclusions, and maybe if you take a very neutral view, you can see the very obvious. And I hope your response will be equally good as well. Thank you. Please like, comment, and add your 5 cents and 10 cents below, and continue to support the channel and subscribe. Thank you.